Let's talk about how to see eye to eye with someone to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our relationship-related idiom today is to see eye to eye. And so this is one of those idioms that actually pretty much every source on the internet attributes to the same origin. It comes from Isaiah chapter 52, verse 8 of the King James Version of the Bible. And it means it's the idea of seeing things the same way as other people, or agreeing, right? Being in alignment, being in agreement, being in full agreement and aligned about a topic, a place, a person, a thing, a situation, a problem, etc. So let's think about this and how does it apply to our business. I'm going to share at least 7 things that we can do or should do to see eye to eye with someone at work. And at work means growing and building and supersizing our business. I'm going to add a few because I think they missed a few in this list that I found online, but it's a great topic because we all have to know how to get along with different people, different type people, handling what we consider difficult people. And a lot of times we find that someone we're having difficulty with is exhibiting a behavior that we too have that we don't want to admit that we have. We think that people that are overly confident are super confident and egotistical, probably because we need to check our own confidence level and check our own ego, right? Often the people we interact with in work and in life are a mirror of something about ourselves. Either they're a reflection of what we need to know about ourselves, or maybe it's an area or aspect of our life that we need to work on and become more comfortable with, like our level of confidence, etc. So what are some of these things that we can do to see eye to eye with other people that we're interacting with? Number 1, we need to identify the type of problem that we have. If we're having a problem with someone, if we're having to handle a difficult person, if we're having to interact with somebody that we find a little challenging, then we need to take some steps to identify, well, what is causing this problem? Is it that they are that they have values or core values or behaviors that trigger us in some way? And if so, we have to take responsibility for dealing with that. Nobody has to change who they are for us to get along with and have conversations and work with them in order to grow and supersize our business. Number 2, we may want to manage our contact with that person. Maybe we need to actually not get along with that person, but that person's core to doing something we want to do for our business. Maybe someone else who gets along better with that person, has a better relationship and rapport with them, will be the go-between and the person that is actually the contact, the direct contact. Do we really have to interact with a person that we find a challenge or offensive, etc.? I have found, dealing with certain people in my corporate as well as my business life, people that had different beliefs than I did that I just really couldn't tolerate, but they had a product or service or a raw material that we wanted for our organization. Because of the positives of that were bigger than the benefit or the negatives of working with this person, I had to find a way to get along with them, or I chose to find a way to find an intermediary person that could be the go-between for that interaction with our company. Number 3, we want to ask questions to understand what's going on in the relationship. And usually we need to ask questions to the person that we're trying to get along with, right? That we want to see eye to eye and get agreement with. A lot of this reminds me of negotiations, and I guess negotiations, when I'm in negotiations, I have a slightly different intention for that negotiation than I do for just seeing eye to eye with someone. When I want to see eye to eye with somebody, I really want us to become aligned and understand one another and all be working toward the same goal. And maybe it's just a project goal or a short-term goal, but for so many things, especially in team projects and team building, not even team building exercises, but things that are assigned to teams that require multidisciplinary teams or different people from different companies to be on the same team to achieve a bigger goal. We want to make sure that we're aligned and we all have the same goal in mind. How we get there maybe doesn't matter as much as that we all are in agreement and alignment and see eye to eye on what it is that we're trying to create. We're building and supersizing our businesses. We need to bring people in from outside the business as well as inside the business and make sure that we're all aligned toward a common goal. We all know exactly what business we're building, who we're building it for, why we're building it, what the purpose, etc. is, our purpose, vision, mission, principles, our core values. They need to be aligned within the organization. Number 4, we need to find the right time to talk. Sometimes not seeing eye to eye on something is just because it's wrong timing for either party, and they've got, like, maybe I'm super stressed, I've got a lot going on, and I'm not open to dealing with a situation or a person or a project or a question right now. The other thing about asking questions is we have to be willing and open to actually listening for understanding of where the other person's coming from. Number 5, sometimes we want to seek the advice and the opinion of a third party. If it's appropriate, sometimes we need to go to mediation in business as we're growing and building and supersizing our business, because as two parties, we want to reach an agreement, but we're too far apart, and sometimes it's just faster and more expeditious to hire or get a third party mediator involved and let them help us determine what's the right thing to do in a given situation. Number 6, we want to remember that we don't have to get along with, and we don't have to love and adore everything about everyone we work with, right? Do we get along with everyone in our life that happens to be around us in our life? No. Does everybody like us? Heck no. So what makes us think that we have to love and have an awesome relationship with everyone that we work with? We don't. We have to have the appropriate work relationship for the situation. We always have to have the appropriate relationship for whatever the given situation is. And finally, remember to be respectful. If you want to be respected, you have to give respect. So if we behave and treat people the way we want to be treated, then we'll get treated back that way, or we're more likely to. And there's always going to be relationships that you just need to say no to. No, this is not the right fit. You are not the right person. I'm not going to spend my time and energy creating a relationship with you. There's always another solution to whatever any problem is. So, love to know your experience with this particular idiom, to see eye to eye with someone. I look to understand and be open to most people. Doesn't mean I'll do business with them. There's a lot of people I will intentionally never do business with, and it's usually because there's a mismatch and a clash in core values and end purpose and intention and desired results. I would say would be the most often, for me personally, why I won't work with or do business with someone. So love to know your experience with this particular idiom, to see eye to eye with someone. I guarantee I've said this one hundreds of times. I've heard this one hundreds, if not thousands of times, and been a part of it with respect to negotiations and different type people and personalities at work, and working with human resource departments, hiring and letting go, and personally developing and giving people feedback. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with another relationship-related idiom for the month of June. If there is an idiom, a relationship-related idiom that you're just wanting to know, I was going to say dying to know, the meaning of and the history and how you could apply it to your business, I say challenge me. If you've got one that you're like, there is no way you can tie this to business, I would love a challenge. So share it, and I will see what I can do with it. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, do it tomorrow.